My trip to heaven. Flying in heaven. Walking up to the gate, my husband met me there with a key in his hand. "Ah, my beautiful princess has come to see me," he said, looking at me with a gleam in his eye. Unlocking the gate, he reached for my hand as I walked in beside him and down the path. He kindly gave me my hand a squeeze as we walked. The pond was beautiful, and it seemed as though there were more flowers than usual around it. He reached over and gave a slight wink of his blue eyes and looked at me. "I see a silver hair. A reward from God," I answered. "You look like my queen." I told him thank you, and we walked a little longer. This time all the flowers were shaped like a heart. Red roses on the inside, white on the outside. It was as if each rose had been taken off the bush and delicately arranged in vases. Millions of them. It was wonderful. "Your Grandma Boyer did this for you," he said. I looked at what went on for miles and miles. Grandma Boyer had delivered roses the day I was born, and now she's delivering them in heaven. My eyes welled up with tears as I looked around the beautiful heart. I loved it. Pretty soon my eyes were suddenly resting on a big white airplane that had just landed. "Anyone for a ride?" the pilot asked. "I just got my license." My husband climbed in and pulled me in with him. "Let's go," he said. Jesus was sitting beside him as a co-pilot. It felt pretty safe. I assumed it was. What better place to fly than heaven? I looked out the window at the heart of flowers as we left. You could see them so much better from the air, and it was beautiful. We flew close to the mansion and around it, all over heaven. It was gorgeous. I loved it a lot. The grass was so green. The flowers were like looking at a rainbow of colors. God uses his paintbrush a lot in heaven. The pink peonies, the sparkly pond, the tree with satiny green leaves. The clouds seemed to form shapes in the sky. Some even looked like animals, if you looked closely enough. One looked like an elephant, another looked like a snail, another a sheep and a lion, almost like marshmallows, so fluffy and white you could almost reach out and roast one. After a few rounds of seeing heaven, the plane landed, and all of us passengers landed safely on the walk in front of the marble steps. My husband asked, "Are you ready?" I nodded my head, and we walked in through the hall of memories, to the staircasing, to the next room. I saw my mom in the hospital bed, with the roses holding me as a baby. Then it changed to church. I was in a green and white polka-dotted dress for Easter. Then I was a teenager on the blue streak at Cedar Point, hanging on for dear life. It looked as if an angel was sitting on top of me, holding me in. The angels were protecting and watching over me all my life. I just never knew it. My husband explained to me. The room was giving me glances of my history, including my husband in a hospital bed with me at his side, singing to him, feeding him ice cream. He had tears in his eyes. I felt touched because he fed me and took very good care of me. Out of all my wives, you cared for me very deeply and showed the most love. Looking at him with tears springing to my eyes, I said, "I love you so much. I miss you a lot. I keep wishing the cancer never took you like it did. That was the hardest day of my life. Being at my mom's house, getting the call from Dad that my husband had stopped breathing and was gone. Going back to the home, I had to wait until after they cleaned him up to see him. It was one call I had dreaded the most. As the tears dribbled down my cheek, I could feel my husband place his arms around me. "It's okay, sweetheart." He just held me close. We left the room and went to the one with the waterfall. Felt so good resting on the couch with him, but I knew my time was drawing to a close with my husband. So he quietly took me by the hand, led me out of the mansion, out to the gate. "Until tomorrow," he said, throwing me a kiss. "Till tomorrow," I said, landing back in my chair at home.